Navy Admiral looked at him like he was nothing more than an obstacle in the hallway. If you enjoy emotional and real-life stories like this, don't forget to subscribe. A tired, worn-out shadow of a man in a faded veteran's jacket, holding a little girl's tiny hand. You're not needed here, the Admiral said coldly. This base is for active service only. The hallway went silent. Officers froze. Soldiers stopped walking. Even the air felt heavy. The little girl squeezed her father's hand tighter. Her eyes were big, confused. She didn't understand rank. She didn't understand rules. She only knew that her hero in this world, her father, suddenly looked like he had been shot without a gun. What no one knew. This, unneeded, man was about to say something that would change the life of everyone in that building. And the Admiral would never forget the look in his eyes. Michael Carter had once been a name spoken with respect in the Navy. A strategic thinker. A brave operator. The type of man you trusted in a storm, in a mission, in hell itself. But wars take more than bullets. They take time. They take family. They take pieces of your soul and don't give them back. Michael walked away from the Navy 3 years ago, not because he wanted to, but because life demanded it. His wife, Elena, died in a sudden car accident on a rainy night. A truck slid across the road and everything ended in seconds. Left behind in this broken world was their 5-year-old daughter, Sophie. From that moment on, Michael's war was no longer overseas. It was at home. He learned how to braid hair with trembling hands. Learned how to make pancakes shaped like hearts. Learned how to smile even when his world kept collapsing at night. He became a father full-time. A protector. A teacher. A storyteller before bed. But deep inside, the Navy never left his blood. That day at the base wasn't for pride. It wasn't for a job. It was for closure. He had received a letter weeks ago that mentioned an awards ceremony for fallen operatives. Elena's brother, Navy Lieutenant Daniel Rivera, had died on a classified mission. Today, they were honoring him. Sophie had never met her uncle. But she had drawn a picture of him, based on stories her mom once told her. "Daddy, can I give it to them? For Uncle Daniel?" she asked. That was why Michael came. But the system no longer knew his name. His ID was expired. His uniform was gone. To them, he was just a civilian, standing where he no longer belonged. The Admiral stepped closer. "Sir, you need to leave the premises. Now." Michael looked down at his daughter. Her fingers were holding a folded paper with hearts drawn in crayon, and in the middle, a tiny Navy flag. And something inside him finally broke, and built itself back up at the same time. He lifted his head and said quietly, but so clearly that the entire hallway heard, "Admiral, I may not be needed by the Navy anymore, but the Navy still lives in me." Silence. "I helped men while they died so you could still give orders today. I carried wounded boys through fires so their children could grow up with fathers. I buried my best friend in foreign soil under a sky that didn't care who he was." He looked down at Sophie. "But right now, I'm just a dad. A single dad who promised his daughter she could honor the only uncle she'll ever know. So if you're going to throw us out, I will walk out, but my daughter's drawing deserves to walk inside." The hallway was frozen. Then something unexpected happened. A young naval officer stepped forward. Then another. Then another. They didn't salute Michael. They saluted his daughter. The Admiral's eyes softened for the first time. "Let her come," he said. "And her father too." Michael didn't feel like a soldier that moment. He felt like a man finally seen. Inside the ceremonial hall, Sophie walked slowly down the aisle, held tightly by her father's hand. Military ribbons shone. Medals rested under bright lights. And on the large screen at the front, photos of Lieutenant Daniel Rivera flashed with honor. Sophie tugged Michael's sleeve. "Daddy, is he happy now?" Michael swallowed hard. "Yes, sweet girl. Because you're here." When her turn came, she walked alone to the stage, little feet echoing across the polished floor. The room of decorated officers held their breath. She handed her drawing to the Admiral. "For Uncle Daniel," she whispered. The Admiral knelt to her level. "And who are you, brave one?" "Sophie Carter. My daddy is a hero too. But he doesn't have a medal." That's when the entire room turned toward Michael. A forgotten hero standing in the shadow of the past. The Admiral stood. His voice echoed through the hall. "We made a mistake today, and for that, the Navy must answer." He turned to Michael. "Mr. Carter." "No. Petty Officer Carter, you were told that you are not needed here." He paused. "But the truth is, men like you are the reason this place exists at all. And maybe the world doesn't give medals for raising a child alone after losing everything, but it should." He took a small velvet box from the table. "This medal was meant for a mission that never got reported. A success that never got recorded, because the hero walked away before anyone could see him finish the war." He held it up. "But today, the war was fought by a father, not a soldier." He pinned the medal to Michael's chest. "You are needed here. You always were." The entire hall rose to their feet. A standing ovation that felt louder than any battlefield explosion. Tears ran freely down tired faces. Hardened men wiped their eyes. Women clutched their hearts. Sophie hugged her father. "See, Daddy? I told you." Michael knelt, pressing his forehead to hers. "No, baby," you reminded them. "Sometimes the world tells you that you are no longer needed. That your chapter is over. But purpose does not belong to one uniform. Heroism does not belong to one title. A single parent raising a child after loss is still a warrior. A broken heart that keeps loving is still brave. A man who chooses kindness after pain is still a soldier in the truest way. And the most powerful reply to rejection is not anger. It is dignity, love, and truth. If you enjoy emotional and real-life stories like this, don't forget to subscribe.